And welcome back to F1 Manager 24 at the end of the 25 season. Last one today. A lot to get through. Anything that's happened in the interim is a new sponsor plan, and you don't really care about that, probably. So we've got everything set up. All our drivers and staff are locked in for next year, the ones we're keeping. All good there. Mentality's a little bit low for some reason, but other than that, all fine. But it's Las Vegas, so I am very interested in getting a lap on the board as soon as possible here at Las Vegas, because we had not one, not two, but three red flags in practice. Thankfully, none of our drivers involved in any of them, although one of them was quite close behind to one of the accidents. Thankfully, pulled up in time. I'd imagine with a very cold track as it is in Las Vegas evening time, though not that cold actually, it's a good idea to get going as soon as possible here. It says that, and actually the tyres are up to temperature before we even go around the last section. Oscar Piastri to negotiate, otherwise probably fine. We're going to catch Oscar at possibly the worst moment, which is great. Hindrance plain to see by the 0.8 difference between both drivers there. So two of the big sufferers of traffic have got them, I say out of trouble, actually Leclerc's only 15th, but Ricciardo's gone top of this session. Bottas in danger though as well, right now. Are we catching a McLaren in exactly the same bloody spot again? Okay, we should be through the section. Bottas went fourth, he's out there. Leclerc actually will be out if any of this five that haven't finished a lap behind him end up ahead of him. Although I don't think many of them are probably on a lap right now. We will be the biggest chance for Leclerc to be out, and only just. The two Williams are on track, but I don't know if they're done. Albon's coming now though, actually, to ruin everything. Yep, there's Mick out. And everyone is in fact done. We got caught on the McLaren again there. That wasn't superb. There is an engine sound bug at Las Vegas. Which does not reset unless you restart the entire save. So I can't be bothered. I mean, reload the save, not restart the entire darn thing. So I can't be bothered to do that right now. Apologies for the lack of engine sound. I'll do it in between sessions. I don't know if it fixes itself in between sessions, actually. A few people kind of with dodgy laps here. Brand new tyres, Maloney gone slower, without traffic as well. I thought that was the main reason why he was slow first time around, is because he had traffic initially. Oh well, Maloney's going slower with brand new tyres. Fittipaldi goes fourth. That's Maloney out. Disappointing, Zane. With two fresh, soft tyres, I will not do it that way around. Maloney will have one soft, but he won't be able to make it work, I don't think. Oh, actually, no, tell a lie. That's not a... So if I'm going to do it, I'll do it medium to hard. Someone's got a penalty in the top 10. They've both gone up a place. Can only take a maximum of 4 laps out here, which is a little surprising. Probably something I've forgotten since last year. So I'll only take half of that out, and away we go.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. You and I won't be the only ones keeping an eye on Oscar Piastri, Karun.
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. We're all ready to go in Las Vegas. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So, Schumacher with plenty to get back. It's Leclerc with one of the penalties, in fact. And it's Leclerc that's through Mick already, probably, by the time that resolves. Maloney's gone back 2 places, but does at least get Albon back. Was Norris on a soft? He was on a soft, so that does somewhat explain that. And in fact, Mick fended off Charles Leclerc, so credit to Mick there. 2 hard runners towards the back. I think actually both of these may have had both the Haas's may have had penalties too. Because I believe they got through to Q2, but because Mick qualified 17th originally, actually, and then he started 15th. Oh no, he would have qualified 18th. Yeah, he would have qualified 18th because there was another car in front of him that got pushed down. So he was up 3 places. It's both Haas's and the Ferrari of Leclerc for Mick, and just Leclerc for Maloney, I believe. Bit of a sedate first lap, I think, realistically. Gasly and the Sauber in a rare chance for a point. Qualifying 10th, or starting 10th at least, as Maloney's targeted by... Wait, actually, as Maloney's targeted by Norris. I missed the replay of him getting Norris. So Maloney's back to where he started in 11th. That was a cheer. I don't know what for. I thought that was a crash. That's just the animation there, which is absolutely terrifying. Got the highlight for Schumacher overtaking Drogovic at the top here as I've paused, but that's actually Mick getting Albon. We'll watch Drogovic first. Opportunities around the outside, is it? It is indeed. And Albon moves over to defend off, and he goes up the inside instead. Lovely work, Mick, there, I think. Once that resolves, he'll be sorted out there. Sargent's not in your fight. But he does have a mechanical fault. It's going to be a while until that resolves itself, I think. Side by side all the way through this section. Maloney has DRS on Pierre Gasly, as the Albon overtake is finally committed. Problem is, I think Albon probably has DRS on Mick there. Yeah, he does. As does Drogovic. So that's backfired massively. Maloney's in top 10. Bring the tyres down in temperature. I say bring them down in temperature, they won't stay down, but which makes zero sense when the track is that cold, but whatever. Maloney's fallen into Mick. Right, okay. Leclerc's fought his way back up to 10th, though, which is the major problem. I can't do team orders here, because Mick's actually struggling now. The tyres are going off, I think. As is Gasly, though, thankfully. Who Maloney takes. The engine bug goes by going into this view, but I really hope it doesn't do it on a replay. Djokovic gets Gasly behind as well for good measure. Ooh, Djokovic has had a mare. It's just a crash, though. It's not a crash into someone. That was my worry, because it was our two drivers behind him. Did Crofty just say there's clear contact there? I presume he means with the wall. Makes sense for his pit, and he's back out in 20th, which is obviously not a great position to be in, but debris, just yellow flag. I mean, I appreciate people who were ahead of us on track before pit stops, looks like, here, but in 21st, deciding to crash. First Drogovic, now Sargent. I mean, his car's broken to begin with, though. But Mick now be hunting. Only on lap 18, has one more lap before he pits off these mediums, as a lot of people have already come off their tyres, but they might have been on soft runs. Ricciardo clearly doing a one-stop as well as Magnussen and Norris. Everyone else is questionably two-stop in various orders. Whilst Mick did not undercut Norris, Norris is going to the end, so this is a different strategy from Mick entirely. But realistically, you really need to get past him on those hards. How are you going slower than him? Well, you're not. Half a second faster, so that time might come down. Still reasonably bunched up, surprisingly. Maloney into the pit the same lap as a lot of the other one-stoppers by the looks of things. As the Ferrari gets let out, seemingly into our path. I don't know what happened there. I think we got away with it. Reasonable stop. As I think we had to be held for the Haas coming in, briefly, but I think we'll get away with it. Mick, despite that Mick was a couple of seconds down on Maloney when he came in, he's now 4 seconds up, so he's gained about 7 seconds by pitting earlier. Undercuts, man. But he does have to stop again. And that's Maloney to the end of the race, though, for now, so I don't really need to pay attention to him too much. Just hope that he can fend off Hulkenberg, who has gone on to... Oh, he's gone on to a soft, so he's two stopping. In fact, actually, let him through. Let him drag you along on those softs. The same way, Mick is actually tracking Leclerc for the time being. Is Leclerc one stopping? He is not. He is two stopping. Let him drag you along, my friend, as somehow we've lost time to Norris. I can't explain that. So Mick's about to fight Leclerc there, but that's not a good idea. Just let him drag you along. Stay within a second, mate. Wait, where's the detection for section 1? Oh, there. I see it. So Leclerc will get tucked up behind Norris and Gasly, which will allow Mick to get into DRS range if he deploys and debalances. Or not. Whatever, Mick. You know, don't use all of your tools to use your disposal. Just stay outside of a second. Why not? It's not like you're chasing someone. Sometimes the drivers can be a bit thick, can't they? So there's no way Norris is going faster on a hard tyre. Alright, he's got into range now. And back to conserve in Gasly and Norris's DRS. Leclerc should drive away eventually here because he's on soft tyres and he's a Ferrari. Maloney, meanwhile, has actually held in to Nico's, which is exactly what I asked him to do. Mick going for Gasly, of course. We have good DRS. I think the Sauber was a decent one as well. Verstappen's issues have forced him down behind Mick now, actually, as well. As Maloney overtakes Hulkenberg, so that's not great there. Yeah, Verstappen's at 145. He's 4 seconds slower. That car is broken. Interesting that Leclerc's not dropping Norris. Just being cautious for a few laps, I think, is Charles. Just biding his time before he just goes yoink. Because he has to do it at some point. He has to just disappear into the distance at some point. He's doing the same lap time for some strange reason. While his teammate, Russell, in fact, is doing 140.9s and his teammate's doing 140.5 on worse tyres. He's on a medium tyre. So Leclerc is clearly just being recovery, I guess. I can't think of the word now. Conservative. Sargent is second. Legitimately in second right now. Looks like he's possibly the earliest adopter of a soft tyre. And he's just on a 139 point. He's contending with Piastri at the front here. As Maloney and Hulkenberg home up to the back of Verstappen as well for good measure. Leclerc, just drive away for the love of God, Charles. I believe in you. Oh, for pity's sake, Mick, just get back in DRS. Am I going to have to cover fuel with Mick later on here? Because without deploying him, he does seem to be a bit of an imbecile. Leclerc's finally gone for it. Speaking of imbecile, not even pushing. Yeah, I watched that. I watched that silently. It won't be a lot of damage here. That really slowly. Hopefully, engine parts will be fine. He's actually doing all right considering. Red flag Maloney starts 13th, which is basically where he started. He must have broken the chassis, I guess. Yeah. One medium from there. Surely we should be able to do it. I have no way of knowing, but one medium should be able to do it, even if I have to go conservative for a bit. In a weird way, it might help us because everyone else has gone on to hard tyres. Oh, yeah, we'll more than cover it. 3 was a... I can even push. I was considering not even pushing. But we can even push on the first lap here. Maloney's the god. Mick with the contract renewal curse right there. Which I think in real life, that one, but it's clearly coded into the game as well. Renew your contract, immediately do terrible to the next race. It's such a weird, bad luck thing, that. But yeah, he's going to be on medium tyres for the rest of this. And a lot of the people in front of him are on hard tyres, so Maloney should do well off the start here. Particularly Gasly. Norris is obviously the one on mediums here. Is going to be the other problem. And crucially, he caught Norris's DRS. Just. Feel like I don't need to push. Yeah, the mechanical faults at the back are having huge problems. Fittipaldi in front's got a minor one. We'll see if that develops over the course of the race. Maloney has 3 bites of the cherry and makes his stick on the third attempt to overtake through DRS there. I say makes his stick, he's not completed it technically. And if he can be behind by this detection point, that'd be even better, but he isn't. I don't know if you even deploy down this straight, but I need you to close in onto the Ferraris, guys. Absolutely pelt it, Zane, absolutely pelt it. Or don't, whatever, either way. We had one more flip back and forth between Norris and Zane before they actually got into the... Well, it's actually the lead is DRS, realistically, actually. Snyder's still second. And do we just have one train to Magnussen? Yeah, Magnussen's the first break. He's not on soft. What the hell's he doing? Him and Dragovic are on softs. They're not going to get to the end. Just a little bit of deploy again, Zane. Just a little bit of deploy. Just make sure you're staying close enough. That's a visual glitch. I hate that. Just get in Hauger's gearbox. Make him think about you rather than Charles. And crucially, make Norris think about Hulkenberg rather than you as well. Now stay behind Hauger, ideally. Overtake him. Sure. Oh, no, he failed and got absolutely compromised. Wow, that was appalling. That's gone backwards, although he will now have DRS on. Never mind. I give up. I give up actually trying to get Zane to go forward. I'm just gonna 16 times the rest of this race because I cannot get him to do anything that I tell him to do. The game just punishes me for actually trying. So there's no point. There's no point when the game's going to be like this. Djokovic has to pit off softs again, so I'm not too worried about him. It's the Gasly that's my concern right now. How is Djokovic still alive? How are Djokovic's softs still alive? How are they not just alive but good? He must have won times then. Let's see, he's come off them now. Look, I'm gone for it. I feel like Maloney's in a reasonable spot here on the last lap. If he gets Djokovic, I think he's in a reasonable spot. 2 hard runners ahead in Hulkenberg and Russell, who is struggling for some reason, despite the fact there's 2 people with actual problems in front of him. So Maloney gets Djokovic, whose tyres are now gone, actually, on the final lap, which will help create a nice buffer to Hauger, who is the only person whose problem did actually manifest into an actual race issue. And that extra fuel's already burnt off, so that's fun. Hauger, once again, not getting points. So Hulkenberg, we have DRS on Russell, but we'll have DRS on both of them. And through Hulkenberg was easy. Now it's whether or not we can get through Russell as well. Or if Zane will be an idiot and let Hulkenberg back through, because what are you doing, you idiot? Hulkenberg's just snatched 8th there. Although, I mean, the run to the line might be fun here, but I don't think we're going to catch him. Yeah, Hulkenberg just stole 9th there. 8th there. That should have been Zane's if he'd just been sensible the way he overtook. / didn't overtake. Man, the drivers can be thick sometimes. It does frustrate me so. Slightly when he said the man from down under when Daniel Ricciardo stood right there. Hulkenberg with a ridiculous race, really, but Mick Thiene retired, which is a bit annoying. I just realised he was a pointless driver, was Nico. Joins 18th, thankfully behind Mick and Lando there, and joins his teammate and getting some points for Haas. Not really a lot to play for other than Ferrari and Aston Martin in the last couple of races. The same goes to 85, that's ridiculous. Well, good news for all involved. Whilst Mick did hurt a few engine pieces a little bit, he has enough in reserve to get us through the last couple of races without having to buy any more. This is, of course, a sprint, though, and I have no idea where the camera's going, as neither driver does a flying lap. Good work, guys. Let's try that again, shall we? How about I don't get punished for them not doing an actual lap? They just did an out-lap, in-lap. Why did they not do a flying lap? Oh, everyone's going now. I better get the drivers out. Same might be in a spot of bother. He seems to be tucked up behind Sargent, and I don't think he'll get clear. Oh, no, he will get clear of them. He's not started pushing yet. Mick got through Sargent as well. He's fine. Zane is tucked up inside Haas instead, so that's not much better. That's the Haas of Hulkenberg. Weirdly 2x2 right now with both Ferraris 15-16. Ironically, we actually do a lap time because, well, the good news is it says call car in. So, in theory, we're not coming in. In theory. Yeah, Maloney's out, so we'll just watch Mick go around. Sauber's 8 and 10. Have we found the track they like? Of course, it's hard to work out what we're measuring against here in terms of sector times. In theory, they did first and second sectors up to scratch. Just the third sector, they went in the pits. So Maloney's actually going slower than his original run, which isn't helpful. Of course, he is inside a Haas, which probably isn't helping there. Mickey's at least going faster. Norris goes 5th. All right, there's time in this track right now. As the rubber is low, it's worth noting that has actually caught the car in front of him. Yeah, Maloney's out. Leclerc went second. I think Hauger's coming around the final corner now. Is George even on a flying lap? I was about to say, is Mick in danger as well there, but Porsche's only gone 18th, so we're fine. Here comes Aaron. In fairness, Norris went 8th, so Aaron could be, yep, and Russell goes 3rd. Maloney's last because he got stuck inside the Hasses, who were actually the slowest of all. Otherwise, tad unfortunate, Zane. Not a lot I could do about that one. So he might actually wait for a few cars to come out here and then go. I don't know how he's not made more progress through people there, but at the very least, the car he has got behind is George Russell, so that's some pace. And I think he's actually also ruined one of the RBs by pushing them into a Sauber, but thankfully it's the Sauber behind. Stay out on track, you idiot. It was about to do it again. I think it's because of the position of the pit and the finish line. Because we had this issue on another track, and I wouldn't be surprised if our pit box is behind the finish line. So it thinks our outlap is technically our pit box to the finish line. So when we go past the finish line, it thinks we're on our flying lap, which it doesn't even treat as a flying lap, but it thinks we're on lap 2 of 3, essentially. Even though it does the rotation of in the right place, it thinks our flying lap is lap 4, essentially, which we don't have in the rotor. I think there's a bug here based on pit box positioning. So make sure to at least get a lap in here, because I've cancelled the call in. I don't know if he was going slow because he thought he was on the lap, but it seemed like he was going for it. It's not great, is it? All right, so now call in. Okay, he's not the slowest, which is something. I'm not sure you'll even be able to get 2 laps in on a... So Mick barrels towards the line as the rubber goes up to normal at least, and it doesn't say call car in this time, so I don't know what it is about that first run. It seems to be fine this time round. Got a clear track as well. Does a faster first sector. Rubber and grip may have improved, so that's probably helping him. 16 seconds to go. I think all this first batch are actually finishing laps and not improving any of them. But Mick will improve. I don't know by how much, but he will improve. It was 4/10, which isn't a bad go of things, but it does only move him up 1 place, just because of the nature of where everyone else was with their lap times. Verstappen's out. A respectable 12th for Mick. He's got to get to 8th to get a point, obviously in a sprint, so I'm not hopeful of anything here from 22nd and 12th. This will be a medium, I suspect. This is a medium. It says it's 3 seconds faster to be on a soft, but no. So he might be able to get away with it, but Mick cannot get away with it. Not if I want to push at all at any point.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
Is everyone on softs? Oh no, there are a few on mediums. Of course, Maloney's got way more softs. I say way more soft. He's got 1 more soft because he never got. I might no. Actually, no. Neither driver has a soft from the SQ3. They both got them available. Maloney's made 1 place, and that's Porsche. I'm gonna tell them to drive in clean air because I think that'll help get the tyre temps down a little bit faster. It's where they said. Okay.
Right then.
It's where they said Helga overtook Mick, and when it was the other way around. So get those tyre temps down in the daylight of the sprint. Maloney's in a little bit more congestion, so keep him on driving clean. Keep him on driving clean air, basically. Let's keep his tyre temps down as best we can. It's going to be a bit of back and forth because I think that's where the detachment is Helga and Mick. Yeah, it is. Although there is another one with Fittipaldi and Norris. Realistically, we're 12th or 13th. This isn't going anywhere. Piastri's just buggered off. Blimey. This might be the dullest sprint so far. Lap 18, sod all's happened. Maloney's at least got his way through to 15th, and that's about it. I didn't really wanted to bother you with him overtaking Hulkenberg, Sargent, etc. Best of the worst. I'm wondering if by pushing we might actually catch Norris on this lap. For pride of 13th, and that's it. Which would really actually be best of the worst. He's in DRS, and it is a wall to the line here. This is going to be a race. Half a second, can he DRS and get past? I thought we had further, if I'm honest. So normal qualifying tends to go a bit better than sprint qualifying usually. I am tad worried by track evolution here because it was reasonable in sprint qualifying. So I'm sending both drivers. Well, we're sending Zane out. Zane seems to have done a bit of a bonkers lap, if I'm honest. Okay, they are pushing. That's fine. Just have to make sure and double check. And they're not saying call it, cancel call in, so they seem to be fine. It happened again. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is here that does this, but a few drivers obviously with issues there. Mick most and worst of all, but Hauger's had a problem. Albon really, I suppose 13th might be a little bit out of sorts. Although maybe it's just good Porsche rather than bad Albon. But yeah, Maloney's done a bit of a bonkers lap, getting ahead of Russell, in fact, and just behind Bottas too, who's obviously been quite strong. And Norris seemingly gained about a second there, if I'm not mistaken. So track evolution is a thing, and Maloney's gone slower. Is he in a vehicle? He's in. Once again, he appears to have found himself inside another vehicle. I'll call him in. There's no point. He's limited by the speed of the Sauber, which is definitely slower. Hulkenberg gained about 7/10 but didn't improve his position. Mick really cannot fail to be slower. His main problem on that original lap was Sector 3, so his Sector 3 will be better. But the fact he's on a better Sector 1 as well is good news. How, Mick? Have you got a broken engine part and I haven't realised? What? Sorry. What happened there? Oh, no, his issue, I remember now. His issue was at the end of his out lap, so he had a slow first sector. How do you gain 2 seconds but only gain half a second overall? Oh, no, his lap was 1.5 seconds faster, but still. How are you that bad? What's happened there? I don't know what's happened there. Like, functionally, he seems to be fine. He went out on the same tyres. He didn't change tyres. It didn't register the tyre change. Right, that's why he didn't go in faster. It's either me or the game didn't register that. Either way. Call car in, cancel call in. Now call car in. I don't know why he does that here. That seemed like a good lap until Leclerc and Ricciardo did their laps. One thing I've learned here is you can't be too far down a block of vehicles, otherwise you would actually just never get past them. And somehow he's not recovered his ERS either, whilst he was in the garage. He's done slower first, faster middle, and not improved at all on brand new tyres. He's 11th, 12th. I don't know why I bother. So, my bad, Mick. You don't have 2 mediums. Right, that's why that's... I was thinking, if I burn the tyres early, then it's probably better to do that. That's what we'll do. As for you, Zane, bring both of these back by a lap, just so you got it in the tank at the start. I'm happy with the strategy otherwise. And away we go in Qatar properly this time, with points on the line.
As we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. Time for Oscar Piastri to show what he can do.
They're on pole, and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Here we go. It's time to go racing. We're all set here in Losail. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Bit of a jittery start there. That's the game, not the recording. As there must have been an insane amount of penalties, because Mick started 16th there. I didn't even recognise, or 15th even. Didn't he qualify second last? An incredible amount of penalties taken there, I think. Can I have to come off these tyres relatively early? Zane still pushes his. I think the second they get too warm, I'm going to take them off. Ooh, the game is struggling a little bit here, for some reason. One thing's for certain, I'm taking away the sprint from here next year. So the second they get too warm, take them off. Don't really want to push the fuel too hard here either. Renee's making a move on Hulkenberg though, who qualified well, and may have actually compromised him I think on exit. Hulkenberg may have taken him off the line thinking about it. I swear Zane qualified 12th, and now he's back there. Mick just got Hauger too for good measure. Not the replay for that, but sure. You can see it happening in the background of the Zane highlight. Looks like the 2 cars at the back have crashed. Paul Aaron with the worst Formula 1 season in history, it feels like. Oh, that's actually Porsche's fault, but never mind. Just yellow flag though. It only ever takes Albon as a highlight, but I was switching off there just to preempt Mick's overtake on Drugovich, which may be about to happen as well. But Zane's up to 11th. Points can be smelled from there. Good move, actually. In fact, that is points, because, sorry, it was showing his original position. He's now 11th. Just deploy a little bit, Zane. If you wouldn't mind, you are chasing Norris, which shouldn't be too difficult. As Mick does indeed get Drugovich. Straightforward DRS overtake, but he's done it. Terrible camera angle from that point onwards, really, realistically. So deploy away from Drugovich, hopefully, and you might be able to gain a second. And indeed you do. Mick gets Albon as well, for good measure. Once again, straightforward. And once you're ahead is kind of a bit of a pointless highlight. But I think these might be the status quo overtakes, because Maloney did get through Norris, which we didn't get the replay of, because we do need to get some fuel back. Okay, and now's probably the time to start doing that. Now, the best pit stop from Mick there. Debris, Snowden's got a thing on him, so I suspect that he's the problem. I was Paul Aaron actually again being overtaken, or lapped I should say. And Snowden getting a little bit antsy. In fact, that's our driver directly behind. And that is indeed lapped as well, yeah. Was that Mick that was in that? No, that was Maloney that was in that. Because of that, we're now miles off Hauger as well. Oh no, actually no, he didn't pit. That's why we're miles off Hauger. I thought we got separated because we had to stop for that incident. It's concerning me that Albon's fast enough to keep up despite the fact we're pushing these soft mediums. He is on softs. Absolutely smash these if we wanted to. Bit of a nothing race from Mick. He's 5 seconds behind and 8 seconds ahead. Maloney's in a bit of a no man's land as well, actually, for that matter. I'm going to take them both off conserve now, fuel-wise, because I think we can get that fuel back quite easily towards the end if we need to. A couple people ahead of Mick with serious faults. Sonoda with aerodynamic, Fittipaldi and Hauger with mechanical. I wonder if they're catchable for 12th at least. Quick stop, please. 2.24. It's faster than the first one, I think. It was faster than Mick's first one, at least. It was faster than his first one as well, just by a sliver. 7th to 5th there. Comes out behind Mick, which is actually concerning because Mick does need to pit again. Tsunoda gains a mechanical fault to go with his aerodynamical. What a fun race Yuki's having now. He takes a pit, but of course Zane here takes the second pit stop a lot earlier than everyone else. So we'll see how this works out for him as he goes through another lap and no one else actually even bothers to pit a second time yet. Only people that have that are Porsche and Aaron, who presumably actually just pitted because they crashed earlier. Aaron doesn't have a rear wing, that's why he's dead slow. Right, okay. He is lapping 9 seconds slower than a lot of the front runners and causing carnage as a result. Retire him, Alpine. Just retire him, for the love of God. Sorry, did Albon just pit and come out 11th? Well, that's disconcerting for Zane. He is 7 seconds behind when they were running together in the first phase. Albon's absolutely got a move on those softs, I think. Mick, what are you doing? That's quite a bad speed, if we're honest. Oh, you're close to your pit stop, actually. We might just try and drag that out. Only overtakes Tsunoda, who still hasn't pitted a second time and in his broken car. Cool. That's fine. Hauger's got to pit again still. Shortly as well. Zane is lapping 3 seconds faster than him. And he's 1 second behind. So this should be 11th quite soon. I feel like some of this... Drugovic, Norris need to pit again. What's the Toledo with Zane? Drugovic is outside of a pit stop. Norris isn't. So Zane is within net top 10 as things stand. We've got a lot of work to do to get anything out of this. Mick's even started to be lapped there, I think. Or got lapped under the pit stop. This is going to be a problem. And Norris pitted onto soft, so actually that's more of a problem for Zane than I thought. But he is 15 seconds behind. So everyone's now done, pit stop-wise. And Mick at least has the 3 broken vehicles to hunt. Give him a couple laps just to get their tyre temp up a little bit. I wasn't fast enough to react to this because... Oh, it doesn't even show the bit that happened before it, but I think Tsunoda got pushed out of the way on the straight by Seitz, who lapped him. So this is very much an opportunist catch him on the straight because he's been lapped situation. As Maloney gets lapped by Piastri. This is a good lap for the McLarens. They're really good here for some reason. Oh, they don't need to save fuel now because they've both been lapped. It does bring Maloney within 2 seconds of Albon, actually, with Piastri lapping Albon. So being lapped by Piastri actually pushed the fuel now. Mick takes the other broken vehicle in Hauger. And it's 60 seconds to Fittipaldi. He's not going to get in, but 13th is fine for Mick. Oh, well, I was pushing with Zane there, and he didn't even close the gap on Albon. So that's depressing. No one else about to lap him either, so... Oh, Fittipaldi's out. That's a free 12th for Mick. And Mick has nothing to play for here, so that's fine. I am wondering if, hopefully, Albon's used all of everything that he's got to his disposal, that we can somehow gain 8 tenths at least to try and beat him to the line. I think we're a little bit far back, because the line comes too early here. It's a reasonable way down the straight, but it's going to come too early for Zane. And unfortunately, that was too little too late. It's 1 cheeky point for Zane. As Drugovic, Albon and Tsunoda made that interesting between themselves, 34, 32, 30 between those 3 drivers specifically. Zane's in no man's land and can't do anything in the final race one way or the other. Constructors remains tight between Ferrari and Aston. We're 1 point away from 100. Okay. We get a good couple of pit stops in the final race so we can get 4th in this. Ooh, race simulator's up, as is Hugh Bird. 8 million to get to the final stage, which, for now, that's 40% weekly development per thing. So, final race of the season, Abu Dhabi. A point gets us into triple digits, points-wise. So there's kind of a personal goal there, I suppose, more than anything. 18th or high does get us another 1 million. I do need to give ourselves the last quarter of our prize money from last year that we don't get normally. I do wonder if that was fixed in a patch after I started Season 2. I'll have to keep an eye on that at the start of Season 3, see if we get that money in. So here we are then, final qualifying session of the season, and there are people out of place, that's for sure. Piastri's down in 13th as things stand, and Mick actually needs to pull out a decent lap here. I think he has to deal with a vehicle that has to move out of the way immediately. I think he was fighting this Paul Williams actually on his flying lap. There you go, he moves out of the way. That's quite nice. Sorry, Lewis. I don't think you were getting out anyway. At least I got on fresh tyres this time. Can't believe I made that mistake or didn't notice that mistake last time round. Faster first sector. Love to see it. I think he might have been hindered in the first sector originally, but there's not that much of a difference between the 2 drivers. We've got the weird low poly, bright team uniforms again, but I'm only slower. The grip has gone from high to very high, but rubber stayed high. I don't know if that makes a huge amount of difference. I don't know which one is the more deciding factor in lap time out of the 2, but it's faster middle sector for Mick as well. Love to see that. Doesn't have to get far to get past Sargent. Did have to negotiate a car there, which is a bit awkward, I guess, but okay. Well, we need to get past Hulkenberg. Porsche's gone 9th. Okay, there's track evolution, I think. Melandi didn't improve overall, I don't think, there. If he did, it was marginal. But Mick, faster first and second. Did that 1 Alpine you had to negotiate ruin your entire lap? What happened there, Mick? He's got fresh tyres. Quite potentially that one Alpine did ruin his entire lap. It was only marginal gains in the first two, but yeah, he could have gained at least 3/10 there, which would have been enough. Oh, of course it would have been. Right, okay, Zane, well, Maloney's only just made the line because I was a little bit sketchy on the time there. Russell, however, 2 seconds, 1 second, 0. Doesn't make it. Whoops, George. Whoops. On board, because he is 9th for now, but there's people that are definitely going to go faster. I say that, he goes 10th as I speak. And he's done a slower first sector, because why would you ever go faster on brand new tyres? Please, Frontier, sort that out. Thank you very much. The rubber has also gone from high to very high over the course of this session, so there is absolutely no reason why you could possibly, without any issues, of course, any hindrances, be slower. As long as you're driving like a normal person, there's no reason why you would possibly ever go slower at the end of a session on a brand new tyre compared to the start of a session on a used tyre. Zero reason why Maloney would not improve here. But well done to Porsche for getting a top 10 finish in the final race of the season, because unless Maloney lost a bunch of time in the final sector last time round, he ain't improving. That might be, with what has been fixed, that might genuinely be my biggest bugbear. He was, well, marginally slower in the first sector, a 10th and a bit slower in the second sector, and he was 3/10 slower in the third sector. How is that possible? How is it possible to go half a second slower on a brand new set of tyres at the end of a developing grip level session? You didn't have any issues or faults or any wide-ish moments. Like, what happened? Crashes and pole for the final race of the season. It's largely irrelevant for them. It's the Ferraris versus Aston, I think. And Valtteri Bottas is 13th. That's the problem then, because Hauger and Djokovic largely don't matter in this equation. Medium, hard for Mick makes 0 sense when he's the one with soft tyres in the bank. Obviously, I'd do that. This nonsensical strategy is hilarious when 2 mediums on a push are viable for Zane. I don't know about this one, if I'm honest. I feel like I'm going off those tyres a little late, but at least the pit stops are nowhere near aligned for either driver, so I'm happy to keep it like that. He actually starts 10th because of a penalty in the top 10. Or 2 penalties in the top 10, maybe.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. Well, they certainly appear calm and composed heading into this race.
Starting P10 puts them in the right place to get some points, but there's still a lot to do.
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? Hold on tight. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
And for our drivers, it's a start in 10th. That's immediately 11th for Zane Maloney, because why would you ever have a good start? Either, no, he's fighting George and failing, but he is fighting George. Mick, meanwhile, is making places. He's there for taking Sergeant. I'm not going to really give that at the moment. Since we do have another season with Mick, because literally no other person made sense financially. Wait, how? He was never, what? He was never behind him. Mick also lost out to Sergeant again anyway. He's on a hard tyre, Sergeant. What are you doing? What are you doing, Mick? Is this a weird glitch moment or what? Shouldn't be able to drive over that. That's technically a pass off the track. And Mick gets him back. Good. Maloney has acquired Djokovic, which we get to watch from this particular angle, which, once again, is utterly useless once he's actually passed the vehicle. But I can see a Ferrari and something else in front. Who is that? Porsche. Oh, Porsche's had a decent start. He's up to 7th. Mick in the chasing pack behind. I think he's acquired Hülkenberg and Gasly in the meantime. Bottas, with a fault, is unlikely to help their constructors' situation, as he's now taken by Mick as well, for good measure. That's Maloney brought back onto the level they needed to be on. There's a little bit of wiggle room for Mick, I think, so Bottas is going backwards now, which is unfortunate for them. Maloney's through Hauger and Porsche, actually. I missed the Porsche overtake, I think. Fortunately, there's a big old gap to Fittipaldi. Rewatch that, just because. Once again, possibly the worst. Although it does switch to behind once we passed. There's a sliver of chance of dropping Hauger here. Only on a medium, so yellow flag elsewhere. We're not going to drop Hauger, unfortunately. That's just Magnussen locking up turn 1. Not really in our fight. Will at the very least make this a two-way fight between Hauger and Maloney. I don't know, Djokovic came into that equation, so it'll hopefully help him maintain his peak confidence. And Mick, meanwhile, also has peak confidence, but He's in a similar situation. Oh no, he is in Tsunoda's DRS. He's dropped Gasly. Maloney has dropped Hauger this time round, which will only bring Russell into play, unfortunately, behind him, I guess. But we've got one big old pack that starts with Tsunoda right now. I don't know if that's because people are going slow, but Porsche's down to 13th, Drogovic down to 12th. Russell overtakes Maloney. We saw that one coming. I didn't see it live, but we saw it coming. Following Russell's overtake of Hauger, who's now behind Sainz as well for good measure. Maloney's in a spot of bother. Aaron's locked up now as well, just for the obligatory Aaron mistake. There we go. Pat, behind Russell, Zane. Stay there, mate. Get some of this fuel back. We've got a bit of endless back and forth with Russell, which, yep, does the job. Mick, meanwhile, why are you completely separated out? What's happened here, mate? Why have the people ahead of you just driven away? You're holding on perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden you're 3 seconds behind. Did you get pushed off or something? A couple of people pitting early. Or what feels like it should be early anyway. Mick's in this lap. I don't think the people he was hunting have pitted, though. Sargent might have. Oh, Tsunoda did. Norris did too as well, I think. Or just Tsunoda and Norris, actually. Mick into the pits. I'll take them off conserve fuel for the time being and get them on conserved tyres just to make sure they've got good tyres to push on the in-lap. Albon comes in same lap as well, which means we're getting undercut on Porsche. And Drogovic, maybe, who's done a 128 somehow. Oh, he's miles ahead, Drogovic. 4th fastest stop there, somehow. 2.5, it wasn't great, thereabouts. Mick comes out ahead of... Oh, that's Aaron, not Norris. That's unfortunate. Didn't get the pop-up for optimal lap there. That's unfortunate. But he's currently 3rd just because of all the pit stops, but that will end now as he comes in. Fittipaldi leads from Verstappen. If there's a red flag now, this is absolutely the worst-case scenario. But fun for them. I think Verstappen's in net lead here, actually. Somehow. Yeah, Fittipaldi and Djokovic have not pitted. Neither is Porsche off mediums. Nobody started on a hard, I don't think. Porsche has to pit this lap, surely. Porsche has to pit this lap. He's on 31% mediums. And I think he's holding that entire train up there, actually. Which Zane joins the back of in 13th temporarily. We should be 11th or 10th when they all pit ahead. And it's all aggressive here as well. Aggressive, medium, aggressive, medium. So have fun, Zane, from here. Have fun. Still on peak performance when you're back and forth with Russell? No, that's decayed a little bit. Makes us decay back to the status quo point. Might as well, while you're in no man's land, recover the fuel, lads. Decent margin ahead, decent margin behind. Porsche / Gasly are going to catch at this rate. Just causing me to take off the fuel there, just to give you a little bit more of a fighting chance. And as soon as they're through, put it back on again. Meanwhile, Maloney in 7th, despite being on push, is not catching Hauger or Fittipaldi. Oh, no, don't lie, he's catching Hauger. Oh, that's because Hauger is trying to lap Kevin Magnussen and failing miserably. What is Hauger doing here? He's finally through, but that cost him so much time. Kevin just did not move out of the way. Thanks, Kevin, but... Oh, we actually got him as well. Just caught the replay. Wasn't expecting to see this. He's past Hauger. As I said, probably not going to factor into the constructors' fight. I don't know what it is about Hauger, but really struggles for some reason. Really struggles. Was in 10th, so I guess that was a point, but I've been dragging Magnussen along actually at this stage. 1.4, 1.5 is enough to come off that in case there's an incident. Usually happens in the second half. We can give him a few laps at least. Attacks the tyres, Mick. Attacks the tyres. How close are you to being lapped, Mick? Oh, no, there's a reasonable gap. I mean, being out of sync with the leaders, maybe, could cause a problem. They are only just about to lap Aaron, actually. So, 36 laps in, it's not a reasonable... They're not getting through that quickly, the leaders, so... Pit number 2 for Mick. 22 laps to go on a medium. Just enough, apparently. 2.1, finally, we got a good pit stop for Mick again. He's been a little starved of that particular attention for a while there. I'm actually just going to deploy Zane, see if he can get away from Hauger. Deploy Mick on the outlap as well for good measure. There's a reasonable buffer right now, and I've got to presume Piastri and Ricciardo are pitting again. No, they're going to the end on a hard. So actually, Mick might end up being faster than them. Hauger's pitted. So having pitted, Mick's got to recover up the inside of Nico Hülkenberg. German on German action. And that's straightforward, really. He's also got Hamilton as well. Before he pitted, and I didn't realise we'd just used all our battery. I didn't realise we were still deploying there, but he's got Hamilton there as well. Same straight, I think, actually. 1 lap later. Weirdly, it was the same replay. So Mick comes out ahead of Porsche again, which great for him. Only a couple of seconds ahead of Porsche, but probably same tyres. Mick through Gasly as well now as Leclerc develops a mechanical fault. That makes the Ferrari Aston Martin thing more interesting. Fortunately, it's only 17 laps for either of them to blow up. I think he's just got Gasly on the second DRS straight again, which seems to be his favourite hunting spot right now for Mick. He's still only 14th. Slow pit stop for Zane. It's obviously our car. Why would it ever be anyone other than our car? I don't really see faults for other teams anymore for some reason. Yeah, right. At least it's a normal kind of issue rather than just the weird one where they just don't let them go. Maloney actually got an overcut there on Hauger. Did Hauger go on a hard tyre? Yeah, you got overcut on Hauger because of the hard tyre. Deploying from here. Mick's 11 seconds behind Hauger. Can he close that gap? At some point, Maloney should just drive away from Helga. Bottas' fault maybe turns terminal as there's a very late yellow flag. No safety car though, just a yellow flag. Probably Sargent based on that. Did Sargent? Oh, it's Lewis again in the wars. Not sure whose fault that is. Sargent was technically behind at the point, but maybe there was not enough room given to Sargent to even be able to make the turn. This seemed reasonably alongside, so I could see this penalty going either way, really. No, in this game. Ah, yes. Bottas has retired now. Maloney has finally dropped Helga. No penalties given. It's kind of what I saw. So Maloney is on for that cheeky point. Oh no, Albon's coming. Albon's coming. On brand new soft tire. Oh no, that's yeah, okay. We're not gonna get the cheeky last point. Albon is a coming. That's unfortunate. I need Fittipaldi or Leclerc, who actually issues got away. I need Fittipaldi just to suddenly randomly disappear with whatever fault that is. I'm not a fan of this, to be honest. Oh well, never mind. His tyres won't even go off either. All I can hope for is Albon somehow crashes into Drogovic here, which he doesn't. Any chance of Drogovic's tyres going off in the last couple of laps? He is on 40% hards. What was the lap delta? 1.6 seconds faster for Maloney. Excuse me a second. He's got a lap and a bit to get a second and a bit, or 8/10. Fortunately, there's a car to lap in all this, not in DRS. Paul Aaron might save Drogovic, because we didn't get in DRS, I don't think. Paul Aaron has saved Drogovic. If it wasn't for Paul Aaron giving Drogovic DRS, we'd have got him there. Wait, that wasn't final lap. Oh, flip, we messed that up there. We've definitely messed it up because we've gone ahead of him before the DRS. This might work out, actually, because if he gets ahead of us on the second one, Mick literally just got lapped at the very end. So I kind of want to be behind here. Or not. Okay, fine, whatever, we'll go for it. Defend from him instead then, Zane. Defend from him instead. Being ahead at the first DRS zone should put you behind at the second, but it didn't. And now we're going to lose out. Although, Zane might go around the outside. This could be a photo finish if we're... Just come off that field to make sure we don't accidentally go under. I mean, what a move. What a move to get that point. Outside of DRS zones, just going for it. Got the worst possible camera replay angle, but sure. Cross the line goes Zane Maloney in 10th. Can't believe Piastri actually caught Mick. Where did Porsche finish? 13th. Right, okay. Why are we caring about him? Carlos Sainz went 14th to 2nd. Focus on him. Yuki from 15th to 8th. Zane held on to a 10th, and Mick did actually go off 4 places. 94 points for Zane, 6 for Mick. That's not great viewing. But it does get us our 100. Ferrari just, yeah, needed to do more than Aston and got the job done. Should really look at the drivers further down. No one actually got anything, so kind of fine. No one moved around. Oh, sorry, I tell a lie. Charles Leclerc did get past Valtteri Bottas because of his retirement. Oh, Valtteri. We got 10 points. McLaren got 4. Oh, no, they got 25. McLaren actually went ahead of Mercedes instead of going behind us. We stayed 5th in this. I can bring the deadline forward for the weather centre. Why would I need it now? Formula 2 Championship results. I didn't actually pay attention to that over the rest of the season. It remained Antonelli for Maini, who were both Trident drivers. Victor Martins, Stanek ended up... Carpentier fell to 7th in the end, and Bogdanovic really fell off and ended up 12th. Yep, Piastri and McLaren victorious by margins in the end. For some reason, I don't get to see the F3 results. Rio Gomez, the man to beat, remained the man to beat, although our driver and Taylor Barnard ended up 2nd, only 15 points behind, 4 wins in the end. 6 podiums in total. I believe they only do 10 races or something. Our former driver, Miguel Poblete, ends up 11th. I'll be pulling Paul's in 27 points in the end. I forgot that Carpentier and Bogdanovic were on the same team. Bogdanovic actually got 20 points in the last race. He did himself a favour at the very end. Started strong and then fell off in that tournament. Championship. But that is it from this video. We'll do all of the end of season stuff in the next one, including all the driver changes. Unfortunately, I did get spoiled on a couple as I was trying to work out any possible driver change for the Mick Schumacher spot. I guess we continue with the unfinished business with Mick and actually maybe finish said business. I'm not confident for next season because until now, at the end of the season, I've not had the money to actually do research for 2026. And bear in mind, I've got to add the last bit of prize money to that. I'm actually not even going to put it in facilities. Whilst there's a bit of money at the end, I'm not going to put that in facilities. Obviously, I need to leave like 22 million spare just to make sure I don't go into that random accidental debt day, essentially, that they've overlooked at Frontier in the development of this game. But I might not actually do anything. I might leave us with some money in so we can maybe break a contract for someone for 2027. Because Mick's breakout for his contract, I suppose it would be about 10 million because his salary is about 5. So we'll see. Anyway, that wraps this up. If you enjoyed this season, if you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoyed this series as a whole, do like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will see you for 2026 when the regulations come in and teams may change. Until then, ta-ra.